Next guest spent the last, I believe, 26 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens organization. He won 2 Super Bowls, director of player personnel for the Ravens for the last 5 years, and he is now the GM. Oh, yeah. He's the guy calling the shots for one of my favorite teams, the LA Chargers. Joe Hortiz, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Likewise. I'm doing good. Appreciate you guys having me on. Excited to be here.
You liking LA? What are the vibes?
It's pretty good. I know it's a little cloudy today looking out the window, but the view doesn't suck looking outside. I mean, it's a beautiful day every day. The weather's great. We just had our rookie mini camp this past weekend, and talk about perfect weather. And
oh yeah,
guys were out having a great time.
Joe, are you allowed in the RV? Is the RV still around?
I have not been in Jim's RV. I've been in Greg's RV, and from my understanding is I went into the better RV. Definitely. But Jim will tell you that, like, he's given tours. FaceTime tours, he'd leave his RV and come over to Greg's, knock on the door to show people Greg's RV. So Greg's RV was the elite. It made me, I actually had RV envy after being in Greg's RV. I thought about getting one. So
who is Jim taking on FaceTime tours of his RV? That's the most that's the most dad thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, I think when he's talking to like family back home, when they first got there, he's like, "Oh, I got to show you Greg's RV," and comes over knocking on Greg's door. Let me show him, And so it's great. It's great.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about what got you into this position, because over 2 decades of NFL drafts in Baltimore, and you get to hang out with Ozzie Newsome and make these decisions with Eric DeCosta. I wanted to sort of ask you, out of all of that, kind of what was the most rewarding pick moment? What's like the name that when you were in this meeting to get this GM gig that you wanted to make sure they knew that you had your paws all over?
I think the process, Kay, like it's not a specific player. It's the process that we had in Baltimore, and began with Ozzie, continued under Eric, led by Steve Bisciotti, and it just us all working together with the coaching staff there, the chemistry between coaching and scouting in Baltimore. That's what I wanted to sell that I'd bring here, and I think we've been able to do that with Jim. And John Spanos has been great working with both of them throughout the free agency and the draft. So excited what we've accomplished so far, and looking forward to what we do going forward.
Oh, Joe, you could give me one name. Come on, Joe.
I love them all.
Ronnie?
I love Ronnie. I love
CJ?
I love Marlon. You can name them. You can name them. But here's the thing. We did it together in Baltimore, and we're doing it together here. And it's not one man's opinion on a player. It's not one person driving it. It is a group. Ozzie was a great leader. Eric's a great leader, and they're collaborative, and they bring everyone together. And I'm trying to duplicate that here.
And you are. And even just in a short period of time, these moves you make. I mean, of course, I love Keenan and Mike, but then you see what you do, and you bring in this trio of receivers, and you're building this team as the team that you guys as a group want to build. And Jim, and it's not just from this process or via proxy and osmosis from John. Like, talk to me about 1998, Joe. Talk to me about, the Ravens quarterback was Jim. You were there. What do you remember about him?
So my first year, he was our starting quarterback. And a couple things I remember. One, they'd warm up, practice, and I'd go catch some balls for him as a 22-year-old kid. And back then they wouldn't give you gloves to wear, and so they'd be ripping balls at you, and you catching it, your hands are stinging at the end. Him and Eric Zier would throw, and I'd be catching one of their balls and throwing it, passing it to Jim. He'd throw it back to Z. And but then the first time I kind of interacted with him for an extended period was on the racquetball court. They pulled me in on a Friday to play cutthroat. And I thought I was going in there to show 2 pro athletes that this young 22-year-old can hang with elite athletes. And I went in with all the confidence in the world and got whipped. Like, I mean, they were just throwing me out of the way, I was there as a timeout break. Like, when they needed a break, they'd put me on the service line and let me get a couple points and then get me off. So, and then they'd be back up, serving. So they demolished me. But I tried, I competed, but I just didn't get the results I wanted. The
life of a personnel assistant back in 1998. Have you guys had a catch since being in LA?
I have not played catch with Jim yet. I might have to do it. I'll, run a few top of the route things. the 22-year-old athlete's a lot different than the 48-year-old, man I am now. So like, I'll just do the top of the route. I won't run the full route.
I mean, yeah, you've been busy crushing the draft, so you haven't had time to have a catch. Okay, so Greg Roman, he comes from Baltimore as the OC. Fifth overall pick, you take Joe Alt, who I love. What a cornerstone, amazing. I have been really trying to figure out, like, what are the Chargers on offense this year? Because you got Roman, run game maestro. You got the arm of Herbert, though. Like, if you could just describe in your world, because I've read everything that you've said. I saw you on McAfee. I saw all the things. What is the identity of this offense?
We're gonna be tough, physical, and balanced. I mean, like we're going to throw the ball, but we're going to develop a running game. Greg is, like you said, he's a run game maestro. He is a wizard, and he's so creative and what he can do and the different looks he can give you and the different schemes he can attack. But he also his pass game plays so well off it, and I think Justin's really going to flourish in it. And having the offensive line beefing it up, I mean that's critical for us. And just you want to be as physical as you can up front, control the line of scrimmage, and it's going to open up both sides or both aspects of the ball, running game and the passing game. So, but we will be tough and physical. I can promise you that.
I feel like people think Greg Roman and they just have that run game wizard label.
Yeah.
Is there more to him? Because he played I would ask this, because I'm looking at it from like Justin Herbert's vantage point, his lens. What role did Greg play, as you know so well, being there with him in Baltimore? What role did he play in Lamar Jackson's success?
Oh, I think, he put Lamar in position to succeed from the jump. And if you look at, he was involved when we transitioned in 2018 to Lamar from Joe when Joe got injured. And he put Lamar in positions to succeed early on. He helped, and then he became our offensive coordinator and used his strengths early on and developed him as a passer. And it was our whole staff doing it as well. But, you marry up the strengths of each individual quarterback, what they do well in the pass game, and you put them in positions to succeed. So Greg certainly knows the run game, but he knows how to marry the pass game up with the run game. And I promise you, Justin's going to be chucking it around here and having success as a passer.
Yeah, we did some research. He's really done a great job of getting the best out of the quarterback he has. I'm talking about Alex Smith, what he did with Tyrod Taylor even, in sort of freeing them up. And balanced is good. I'm into balanced.
Yeah.
I'm excited about what's going on here. There's a bit of a void. You get rid of Keenan and Mike. It makes sense. You draft 3 wide receivers, and you add DJ Chark, a favorite of mine, to the mix. I'm so curious about your strategy, since you don't want to talk about specific players, and I understand. You had this chance to take one of the top wide receivers. You didn't. I'm so curious in your evaluation of Quentin Johnston. Like, how much did that factor into your strategy in building the wide receiver room?
Yeah, Quentin was a player that we liked in Baltimore as well. Last year, a player that I liked. And the one thing you look at him when he was coming out of college, he was an elite size, speed athlete, and you saw some rawness to his game, but you also saw the ability for as big as he is, he's 6'3", I think, and 220 pounds. Like, you watch him drop his weight, come in and get in and out of breaks, come to balance at the top of the route and get out quickly. He can do some rare things for a player his size. And Jim was on the other sideline, in one of his better games in college. And so we've all seen it, and we believe in it. And he's a great kid, and he's a great worker, and everyone here has high opinion of him. And I believe he's really going to launch. I really do. And his skill set is great, and we're going to work with him and make him better and better. And so you got a talent like him, and then you certainly a chance to add Joe Alt at the 5th pick was just the best play. Like I said, best player. And he improves us from day one. And so. And then you stack Ladd and Brendan and Cornelius.
You look pretty happy about it.
Yeah, a couple free agents after the draft. So we got a really good competitive room. Adding DJ is going to be huge, and so it's a really good room right now.
Is Quentin a wide receiver 1, and how did it make you more comfortable taking Joe Alt because of what you have in Quentin? I guess that's what I'm asking.
Quentin has to. It's up to Quentin what he becomes. And we're gonna push him and work with him and develop him. But I'm not going to anoint Quentin as anything. Quentin's going to develop and show what he is to the league and to everyone out there. But I believe his work ethic and his talent, he's got a high ceiling for sure.
On the defensive side of the ball, always a question. I feel like, and I'm a Chicago girl, I love Khalil Mack, I love that, Joey Bosa, I support this Chargers team. It's like these, this incredible blockbuster movie, and you're like, why didn't this break the box office? Why didn't this work? You could have moved on from them for a million reasons. Why not?
They're talented players. I'm from Baltimore, so we believe in defense out there, and I believe in it here. And I think a strong defense helps the quarterback. People are like, what are you going to do to help Herbert? I'm going to get the ball back to Herbert. I'm going to try to make this defense as great as we can, and we're going to get the ball back to Herbert over and over. So they're just both highly talented players. And in the end, the situation we came into, we couldn't keep all four. And you just worked with each of them and their agents, and I appreciate all four of the players and the agents working with us and open lines of communication. And in the end, we just had to make the best decisions for the Chargers, and we're fired up to keep both those guys. Yeah,
you brought them back on restructured contracts. I cannot wait to see it all come together. Sounds like you're really giving confidence to the coaching on the defensive side of the ball to be able to let them operate the way that we know that they can and hope that they do. Schedule releases tomorrow. It's like Christmas for NFL fans. You spent 26 seasons with the Ravens. They're on the Chargers schedule. I'm sure you know that. Yeah. How much thought are you giving that game?
It's a game. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's a game. It's the two brothers going against each other again. It's me and all my brothers back there in Baltimore, and it'll be fun. I'm glad it's in our stadium. It'd probably be hard to go back there. It'd probably be more emotional to go back there. So it's great that the first time's here in LA. But I'll be looking forward to that game and seeing all the guys, and it'll be different. It'll be playing against family, and which I've never done. They were my family for 26 years, so it'll be fun, and but I'll be amped up for it, and I'm sure I'll be very excited for it, but I'm looking forward to it.
How often do you think Jim's thought about that Super Bowl loss to John?
I think listen. I think he's proud. We've talked about it. It was an unbelievable, unique moment. Two brothers going against each other.
Crazy.
And just I think he's proud to have been in it, and certainly I know he wanted to win that game, and I'm going to do everything I can on my side to help him win those games, So, but it was awesome. It was a neat experience. We played him on Thanksgiving, I think the first time we played him, and then to play him in Super Bowl, both big, unique games, and we'll do it again. Who knows when it'll be, but it'll be a big moment for the family.
Come on, we know it's got to be a holiday. That's the brothers storyline. It's got to be.
I don't know.
Christmas.
I don't want to suggest anything because people think I have inside information, which I have none. So I don't know when it'll be. I know it'll be a big game.
It's got Hallmark movie written all over it. It's getting. We're getting the Thanksgiving night treatment. I mean, Super Bowl. I cannot believe the last time they faced each other was Super Bowl 47. It's an unbelievable moment that we get to relive. And I mean, yeah. I just can't wait to see it. One last one for you, because I just like the brilliant mind of a GM, and I'm just getting to know you. I have to ask about Justin Herbert specifically. Yeah. What doesn't get talked about enough with him from an evaluation standpoint?
Oh, man. I mean, everyone talks about his talent, his arm strength, his size, everything, his athleticism, but he's just such a good dude. I've been around him now for 3 months, always smiling, just wants to win, just wants to be the best he can be. He's out here working every day. He's not an upfront guy. He's not an outward guy. I think in the media, he's probably a unicorn for you guys. I don't know if he does many media stuff.
No, but I love him for that. People don't think that works. That's sort of what people want to say is introversion. I think it works. I think it works for him.
Yeah, it does. But he really is a special guy, and it's fun to watch him out there leading and competing every day out here during the OTAs. So, but that's probably what people don't know, just the guy, just a special guy.
Good. I want to hear leader because he's got these young cats coming in here. He's got to make a bond with these rookies.
He is, and he's fun to, he leads one just through his actions, his effort, and then what he does, and he's going to put the ball in the right spot every time. And, we had a player in here, Bud Dupree. Him and the day he visited, we're looking out the window. He's like, man, the receivers just need to run the right route. The ball's going to be on the money. So he's special that way.
I love that you're adding Bud to bolster this defense. Let's go. I mean,
Why not, right?
I mean, you came to some might call it masochism. You came to a place to take Mahomes on twice a year instead of at least twice a year. But you're up for the challenge, Joe. Let's go.
No, I'm fired up. We're excited. They're a great team, and we got to match them. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Lovely to meet you, Joe Hortiz. Hope you're enjoying LA. Get yourself an RV. Do the whole thing. Go to Malibu. If you need any LA recommendations, hit me up. And congratulations on all the success so far.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Now, Jim, Greg, go do your thing.
Yeah.
It's on you. You get to kick back. You should go to Bora Bora for a couple weeks, come back, and it's week 1.